All right, welcome back, everyone. Connectingdots2 here. We are Saturday, July 16th, 2016. Okay, so I received an email this morning, and I thank you very much for those of you that take your time to, give me a heads up on what's happening here on YouTube. I must admit, because I cover multiple topics, I don't always, I'm not always out looking for what other YouTubers are putting out. But since this person, she's realized it, or I'm sure others have also, I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and make this video because it's probably the appropriate time to just connect the dots on this one here and get this out of the way here. So anyone who's new to YouTube or the nuclear sector or the nuclear news on YouTube, possibly you don't know the players, you don't know what they've done, you don't know what's involved, and you've gotten caught in their bullshit. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Again, that's why I'm not associated with anyone. I do my own stuff. I've been doing it since 2009, and I've said that before. Every single time I've tried to, get connected up with someone on YouTube and form some type of a alliance, they turn out to be alliance scammers. I mean, I've had it multitude of times. 3 times here so far. The latest one was YouTuber jsnip4 in 2011, and that's it. I said, that's it. I'm done. Since then, I've been sticking it to myself, just not working with anyone else because, like I said, it seems to be, block your ears, you're not going to like this term. It sounds a little foul, I mean, but it is. It's a circle jerk of corruption here on YouTube, and they all interconnect. It's a major association of corruption and frauds and how they all support each other. And you're not going to be aware of this if you're new to YouTube. That's why I make these videos. I've been around here for a long time. I know the sectors. I know the gold, the economy. I know the players there. I know the Fukushima, and many of the conspiracy researchers. And it's just funny. It's a term that I actually coined in 2014, the circle jerk of corruption. I was saying back then, I said, listen, I've been out here for many years, and I can already witness how I actually made a prediction. I said, watch, as we go forward, these corruption gangs, these corrupt the YouTube channels that are corrupt here, misleading, disinformation gang, they're all going to start uniting. And that's exactly what's taken place over the course of the last 2 years. Anyone who remembers my words here at Connecting Dots 2, when I made that prediction in 2014, when I was busting Dane at Durnford, that's the clown here. You can see up the steering wheel. That's not Gilligan. That's Dane at Durnford here, the clown. And another one here who won't debate, and I'm going to make a very strong point of that because many of you enjoy hearing YouTubers debate. We don't have that anymore. They'll debate amongst themselves, which is what I'm going to show you here. Dana was supposed to show up at this show again, not to debate, just so they can continue progressing on with the bullshit. Okay, the whole lies, no testing, no results, nothing. And when there are results, well, you'll see here they call them fictitious. They're fake, bogus, unbelievable here. So we have people in the nuclear industry, I should say, anti-nuclear. They pretend to be anti-nuclear. Okay, they're here on YouTube making videos against the nuclear industry, and yet none of them will talk about thorium. None of them will debate. They all seem to turn their eyes when there's another one who's scamming someone out of their life savings. Very disgusting here. Okay, it's all about misleading people. So, and I've been making a point of this, is how they all associate here. And I don't even, I call them fraud and disinformation YouTubers. There's a lot more in this gang. It's a large gang. I've been saying before, go click see all. You need to know who these people are. You need to start keeping track of it, even though you don't believe me. Okay, you may not like what I'm saying, may not believe me. At least start paying attention to it and what I'm saying about these people, so you can go back and track them. Find out for yourself. Am I full of poo-poo? Am I nuts to ask for results when we're talking about an invisible thing like radiation? Am I out to lunch? I'm not out to lunch. I'm here to connect the dots on this whole paradigm. Even Sticks in Heaven, Hammer 666, another energy news Fukushima fraud. They all interconnect. They all promote the same bullshit. How is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, so let's jump right in it here. So this is the email I received this morning. This is again from another YouTuber, Strontium Milks, again part of that paradigm. Another one who won't debate, by the way. I've invited him before. Come on, let's debate. Let's debate. All you talk is bullshit. I've actually got results. I'll pull out the articles and prove it to you that you're full of shit. Won't debate. Just like Kevin Blanch, just like Dana Durnford, just like Miss Melky the Clown, they all run away like a bunch of chicken shit clowns. That's essentially what we have here on YouTube. A bunch of chicken shits, and it's odd how all the chicken shits all join up. So on the video that he just posted here, this is July 7th. I shouldn't say just, but July 7th. You can see up here, it says Age of Fishing with Lonnie Clark. I'll get into that in a second. If you're not sure who or never heard of this Lonnie Clark, again, she's another fraudster on YouTube. Her YouTube channel is called Nuts for Arts. I've been dealing with this nut case for a couple of years now. I've given up here. Okay, it's impossible. They delete you. They ban you. They don't want my comments left on their videos. They know damn well people are going to get intrigued and you know, search it out, seek out the truth. So this is how they work on YouTube. They ban you. They delete your comments to make sure that others cannot pick up on the truth. And then they go on to do what? They do the related channels. They promote the fraudsters. So look, UCTV, Alex Jones, BPR, Beautiful Girl, Miss Milkley, Taboo 7. It's the fear factor right on Lonnie's channel. So this is not by accident. I've said that before on my YouTube channel. If you go take a look here at Connectingdots2, or even at the Silver Gold Man, you'll notice, or even at my other one, my backup channel, Connectingdots3, you'll notice there are no related channels. I've turned them off. I can enable them if I want, but I've noticed here, as I said, I've been out here since 2009. I've noticed that when I enable them, it's YouTube promoting all the fraudsters. So I'm not going to turn them on. Forget about that. You know, I've compared my YouTube channel to kind of like being in a motorcycle gang, you know, and this is kind of like my motorbike, my patch. I'm showing what clubs I'm with. Well, I'm not with any of these clubs. Okay, these are all the fraudsters, and that's why I made a point of turning it off. So you'll notice that the fraudsters themselves, what do? They all interconnect. They all promote each other, and it's by the related channels, okay? And sometimes they're more upfront, like Kevin Blanch here, another YouTuber, which we'll get into this because this is important. The channel that I'm about to expose here, UCTV, has been sent an email from myself back in, was it 2014, again in 2015. I've sent them about 3 emails, these people. They don't get back to me, and what I was trying to warn them about was Kevin Blanch and the fraud that's going on there. So yes, they promote them on the side. This is very easy to figure out, and oddly enough, you may recall, I've said before, even in the economic gold and silver community, I caught sgtreport.com, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. He is, again, featured. Like I said, it is that circle jerk of corruption on YouTube, and it's very easy once you start paying attention to the players and how they all interconnect, even on various topics. It's not by accident, okay? It is major fraud on YouTube, okay? All right, so Kevin Blanch, you may recall I've spoken how one of his videos had been thumbed up by sgtreport. So let's go right back here to the video that was sent to me that kind of got this whole thing going. So they're talking about a bogus study in Fukushima radiation rapidly returning to normal, mentions only one isotope. That's because they're only testing for the one isotope. But what's important is that these people call it a bogus study when we actually have results showing us that they are returning to normal. And I've talked about this, it was about 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I was saying, hey guys, look at, they're actually one of the rivers that was infected here. They've been testing it nonstop, and now they're about to start selling fish out of that river. So it's important here, and oddly enough, that's what I've been saying all along. Let's do some testing. And if you recall, you can see up here on the right-hand side, it says gamma spectrometer funding. And I've said this before, that Dana Durnford and his donation and his expedition for life all began roughly about a month after I posted this link and started making these stories over Connectingdots2, telling folks, hey, you know what? I've been following Fukushima since day one. And at one point I uploaded this video here called Fukushima Day 1205. And I made a strong point. It was anybody with any common sense watches that video, you already got it figured out. You're being lied to. I've showed before how even the Canadian government, Health Canada, every single time they did testing on fish for Fukushima radiation. They found zero, not even a trace of it. Yet every time I showed the independent testing, what did we find? Traces of Fukushima. That's right. Traces of it. Why is it that every time we have independent testing, we find something, and then when it's the government, or in this case here, Fukushima Day 1205, it was the Food and Drug Administration in USA that were lying about the radiation testing that had gone on in Alaska. I'm not going to go over everything that he debunked in there. You'll have to go watch the video, but even the type of testing, the type of fish that they were doing, all improper. Okay, you go watch the video, you'll see I make a lot more sense than what the Food and Drug Administration. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that there are certain species of fish that will bioaccumulate radiation more than others. This is not rocket science. You just need to sit down, listen to the video for 15 minutes. You'll have it figured out for yourself, and you'll quickly realize this is why we need an independent guy like myself on the West Coast with a gamma spectrometer doing live testing. I said that before. The unit that I'm going to be purchasing is a portable unit. I can take it out onto the field, out into the ocean with me. And that's right, do live testing, record the entire testing, the sample being taken out of the ocean, the testing being done. All of this live. Why? Because I'm sick and tired of all the lying, fraud, the deception on YouTube. I'm sick and tired of it. I can't trust in the government's doing proper testing. And then when you do have proper testing, you have these people coming out calling it bogus. Now, oddly enough, if you've been following my Fukushima videos, you may recall at one point, when was it? 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I made a story how Japan had spent, I don't know how much, they bought what, 1,000 or plus? I don't even know how many of these food detection, radiation detection geigers they had set up in various communities all around Japan, mostly around all the Fukushima prefecture and on the outskirts of it, obviously, or not in the right at Fukushima itself, because there's nobody living there, but I mean all around the prefectures, everywhere where they figured there might have been some radiation falling. These towns were all equipped with special geigers so that people could test their food. So if the radiation in the food was actually accumulating, we would have people on the ground noticing it. And as I shared just recently, how that river in Japan, how they've been doing ongoing testing on the river, and they found the same thing, that the levels have been continuously dropping to the point now where it's what they call safe. Yes, the levels in Japan were raised after Fukushima, the acceptable level of radiation in their food. But it doesn't change the fact that the levels in that river, the story that I was sharing, were continuously being monitored, and they were showing lowering levels of radiation. So what do we have here? You have a choice here between either you're going to follow the people that make these bogus videos here, calling out every single time there's a testing, and as I am about to show you how they're all interconnected, it is the fraud on YouTube. None of them want to stand up to what's happened to Jeff Palco, and that is really the clincher with a lot of you. A lot of you can overlook what I'm saying, and then when you realize that a YouTuber, a person like yourself, donated didn't even donate the money, actually. It was all on a temporary loan. Even the boat that Dana Durnford went out on, the Zodiac, I'm not sure if you saw it. I got the Gilligan's boat here, but the real boat that Dana went out on, this exploration for life back in 2014, was on a loan. Jeff Palco did not give Dana the $25,000 to buy the boat. He took a lien out on his home for $16,576. He sure as hell did not have enough money to go give people $25,000, okay? And we all know back then, anyone who was following Fukushima, the story was, right from Jeff Palco's mouth, was that he was going to lend the money to Dana so Dana could go out on the ocean, do some testing. Did you get that? Do some testing, not taking pictures. And that's exactly what happened when Jeff Palco realized that Dana had scanned him, and all he was doing was taking photographs. Jeff made the videos himself telling what's up with Dana. He's taking pictures of places he's never been before and making claims that everything has vanished and not a single test. in the end, well, we all know what ended up happening, eh? Well, if not, okay, well, hang tight, because I'm going to continue on here, and we'll get into Jeff Palco and the death. But first, I want to share with you, again, it's that circle jerk of corruption, and right here on UCY TV, you can see it in the background, and in fact, she'll say it here in the opening session. And who the guest, who do you think the guest is supposed to be? Like I said, it is a circle jerk of corruption. Just listen to yourself here as we start this up.
Good morning, UCY.TV radio listeners. This is Lonnie Clark with the Age of Vision.
Okay, that didn't work well. What's going on here? Volume was up. I'm not sure why you couldn't hear that. Let me try this one more time.
UCY.TV radio listeners, this is Lonnie Clark with the Age of Vision radio show. Today is Call-In Friday. Good morning, UCY.TV radio listeners. This is Lonnie Clark with the Age of Vision radio show. Today is Call-In Friday. The phone number is 718-717-8296. And Dana Durnford was going to co-host with me, and I called him this morning a few minutes before the show, like I thought we agreed. And he did not answer the phone, so I'm sure he has a good reason. Maybe he's going to call in. I texted him the call-in number.
Okay, so as you heard, Dana Durnford was supposed to be on the show on UCY TV with Lonnie, who promotes Dana, beautiful BP Earthwatch, Alex Jones, UCY TV. So that's the channel right there, UCY TV. It's the same channel that's been promoted that Kevin Blanch plays on all the time. All you got to do is a search on the word Kevin Blanch, and you'll see here UCY TV. Kevin Blanch was just up there. He's on that channel quite often. In fact, as I said back in 2014, when this whole Jeff Palco scam took place, when they scammed him out of his life savings, I sent an email, I think about 3 of them so far, to UCY TV to warn them what was going on. Now, if you're new to this again, please go watch the videos. Do not speak. Don't be calling me a fraud. And if you listen to Dana's videos and he said, I'm responsible for Jeff Palco's death, use some common sense. Go watch the videos and ask yourself, why is it that myself, who, if I really had caused someone's death, why would I be in contact with the family? Why would the family be sending me the checks that show, you know, I got the personal checks here between Thomas Ackerman. Okay, I'm not sure if you folks are aware of that. Where's that Ackerman? There's Ackerman there. So I know that Ackerman received, what, $2,000 from Jeff Palco. We know that there was an additional $18,500 sent to Kevin Blanch as an investment fund. And unfortunately, Jeff never got his money back. So ask yourself, why is it that if I was responsible for someone's death, why is it that I would still be in contact with the family? Not only am I in contact with Mary Palco, and that's Jeff Palco's biological mother. You can read the part of the email that she sent me here. You may notice that she says, these thieves, that's a plural. It's not this thief, Connectingdots2. She's talking about the scammers, okay, on YouTube. Jeff Palco, Thomas Ackerman, Miss Milky the Clown, Kevin Blanch, all these fraudsters on YouTube who have turned their back after scamming this guy out of his life savings. This is very sickening. As you can see, she's not very happy, you know. And in fact, she kind of asked me to remove a couple of the videos here because you may recall after, well, when many of you realized that Jeff had lost his life savings. This is Jeff down here on the side here. You can see him in the picture. We opened up a fundraiser to have, you know, Jeff passed away, but he still has a 16-year-old son. So we tried to set up here, have people send some donations. And she was so disgusted what she saw in the videos, how people were calling me the fraud and all that jazz. She says, you know what? She says, just take it off YouTube. I'm so sick of this online community. It's disgusting what they've done to my son. And now to see them saying the stuff about you in the comments, she just She didn't want to have it down. She just did not want to have that stuff. And by the way, and people were wondering, how did you get these pictures? You know, this is Jeff Palco here in his better days. And I've showed pictures of his when he was a little kid, a little boy. I got those pictures from Mary Palco, okay? If you're wondering, like I said, I'm the only one who's ever spoken to Mary Palco. That's Jeff Palco's biological mother. I'm the only one who's ever spoken to Jeff Palco's brother, who happens to be named Kevin Palco. Kevin is the one that sent me all the information, the checks that showed that, any emails showing me that Kevin Blanch had received the $18,500, that Dana Durnford had, had received $16,500 just from a lien on Jeff Palco's home. So again, why is it that they would be calling me the fraudster when I'm the only one in this? And you have her words right up there where she says the contributions, those are donations, and the investments resulted in financial problems from which he did not think he could recover, although he did take some steps to try to consolidate with other debts, but gave up and lost his will to live. Like I said, the guy committed suicide because they scammed him out of his life savings. It was Christmas time. The guy had a 15-year-old boy and didn't even have any money anymore to buy his son Christmas presents. I hope you guys can understand this. This is why this gentleman committed suicide. He was not giving money away. The investment was $18,000 as an investment that he was sending to Kevin Blanch, because Kevin Blanch had said that he was an ex-hedge fund manager, and he was going to invest Jeff Palco's money and turn around and use that money that he would make off it. Okay, the whatever money he would make off the investment, he would keep it to continue fighting with his post-ignorance project, and he was supposed to give the $18,500 back to Jeff Palco. That never took place. Kevin absolutely locked him down, locked him out, wasn't replying to any of his emails, wasn't even answering the phone calls, because Jeff Palco comes from Canada. He was calling long distance to Utah to get a hold of Kevin Blanch to get his money back. Kevin wasn't answering the phone. This is all things that were said to me also from Jeff Palco's mother. Like this isn't not a secret here. This is very well known on YouTube, and this is why I keep wondering, why do my videos get all the thumbs down? If we're really a united group here out for some truth, you think we'd have some people on YouTube saying, okay, hold on a second, enough is enough. These guys scammed him out of his life savings. He was on heavy meds. You can see right here, he was in, this is Mary Palco's words here, he was in no condition to make rational decisions while addicted to prescription meds. Kevin Blanch, Dana Durnford, and the rest of them all knew that he was on heavy painkillers because Jeff had hurt himself at work 8 years earlier. He was on a long-term disability. You can read the email right there. It's very disgusting that these people have all turned their back on him. And like I said, this all joins right back up to UCY TV. Like I said, I've contacted them myself when I found out that Kevin Blanch was promoted on that channel. I'm like, hold on a second here. Like, I didn't know anything about UCY TV, to be honest with you. Never heard of them. Not once. So I figured, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll send them an email and let them know this is what Kevin Blanch is all about. You may not want to, be associated with this guy. As you can see, they haven't stopped here. A month ago, he's right back on the bullshit wagon here with UCY TV. And as I've just showed you a second ago, we have Nuts for Arts, who's also on there also. And what did they have try to do? They tried to bring Dana Durnford, the big clown, the scamming clown. So my advice to you, I'm gonna finish this up here as I'm gonna just show you here the YouTube channels. Stay away from UCY TV, because when you go to the YouTube channel, like I said, it's all about who you hang out with, right? This is kind of like your YouTube channel is kind of like your motorcycle bike, and you're on the side of your bike, you're showing the patches of the groups that you hang out with. So that's why it says Friends of UCY TV. Who do we have here? Corbett Report, who is telling folks to what? That Bitcoins was a sound place to store your wealth. It is not a sound place to store your wealth. Do not listen to that man, okay? Please, please, guys. I can't believe that Corbett Report would make a video saying it's a safe place to store your wealth. Bitcoins is used by the underworld, okay? Please be careful. All right, and related channels, here you go. Right back with the same frauds. I mean, I just called out Stéphane Molyneux here, what was it, about a month ago with the Silver Gold Man. So we'll go click on see all to see who they all promote. That's always interesting. And who do you have? Corbett Report. Nuclear Hot Seat, who can't even call out the fraudsters herself. Like I said, it's full of fraud on YouTube. Do you think Corbett Report will make a video calling Dana out? Nope, never. Well, it'll never happen. Guarantee you. I'm the only one on YouTube who can make the videos because I'm not associated, okay? Again, Miss Milky the Clown, Nuts for Arts. This is very easy to figure out. You don't need to be a brain surgeon. And there's that SGT report I was telling you about that's promoted, connected on YouTube with all the other fraudsters. Very, very important here how they cross-link across various topics. Very, very important, okay? And then when you come over here, what do you find? The other YouTube fraudsters, the silver doctors who I've called how many times are connected with JSNIP4, JM Bullion. It's the YouTube Fraud Club, Money GPS. Ask yourself, why is it a guy like myself who doesn't even have a high school diploma? That's right, I don't even have a high school diploma. Why is it, and I've never taken an economic course, nothing of the sorts. Why is it that I can predict stock market crashes? Why is it that I can predict the rise and drops of gold and silver? SGT Report and the rest of these fraudsters have been pumping it. I'm talking about gold and silver since we reached the highs in 2011. So we've been on a downward trend. SGT Report and the rest of the people who've been listening to they've lost. They've lost. They're in the hole because they bought their gold and silver much higher. So I was telling you back then, don't buy in it. Don't buy into their bullshit. Stay away from the, they call it the corporate propaganda antidote. It's not. The corporations have set up the SGT Report and the rest of the fraudsters to come out and scam you. And it's important how they all interconnect. They cross-link. BP Earthwatch, Future Money Trends. Like I said, YouTube promotes the fraud. It's what I've noticed myself. I'm hoping you're catching on to this again. UCY TV, this is their website. You go scroll down the website, and what do you think you're going to see there? News archives with what? Kevin Blanch. There you go, Kevin Blanch. They're not going to speak out on the fraud. There's Kevin Blanch. We can load more if you want, but it's just going to be more fraud. So I'm telling you right now, use your common sense. If you don't believe me, go watch the video that I showed you that comes right from Mary Palco's. Okay, go watch this one. How Fukushima fraud contributed to Jeff Palco's death. Short little video, 8 minutes. You got to see the juice of it here, but I can't share all of her emails, everything she sent to me. But I did mention how Mary Palco is waiting for Thomas Ackerman and Dana Durnford, as well as Kevin Blanch, to contact her because she wants her, unfortunately, her dead son's money back. She wants to give it to her grandson. They're not going to talk about this. Again, you don't expect SGT Report to ever speak out on this. This is why I've been calling him out. He came out and gave a thumbs up to Kevin Blanch after Kevin Blanch had scammed the money from Jeff Palco. Same thing with UCY TV. I sent them an email, totally refused to even acknowledge that there's a Connectingdots2 on YouTube, okay? They won't even reply to me. This is what I've seen on YouTube, okay? The best way to deal with a guy like myself who's calling you out on your fraud is just to completely ignore me, because they know damn well if those of you, if they were to make a video saying, hey, that guy Connectingdots2, he's been saying this about us, he's been saying that, he's so wrong. Look, we are so pure because we do this, we do that, and we do this. But look at that Connectingdots2 guy. He's done that, and he's done this, and he's done that. Oh boy, he is such a bad guy. You got to watch him. You'll never see those videos. Think about it for a second. If I was such a bad person, why aren't there a shitload of videos on YouTube calling me out on my stuff? They can't make them. They can't make them because I'm the only one who talks common sense. I'm the only one who talks about testing. I'm the only one who talks about independent testing. I'm the only one who talks about results. I'm the only one on YouTube within the nuclear sector that speaks about thorium, THORIUM. thorium. Do your research, get informed, then go ask these other fraudsters, why aren't you guys talking about thorium? That Connectingdots2 guy made a video about that, warning us all about this thorium, that we could have clean nuclear power for everyone. Why aren't they speaking about this? There's my thorium video. Okay, the information's out there. Unfortunately, you can't expect UCY TV and the other corruption club to help you out on this. They are part of the fraud. They're here to mislead. They're not just on YouTube. They're also on Twitter. Here's their Twitter account. Okay, it's big, massive fraud. And as you heard at the beginning of the show, they have a radio show. Well, guess where they got all that money? From all the fraud. It's one big sector of fraud here, and it all ties back, oddly enough, I've tied it right back to the nuclear sector, because we found that Miss Milky the Clown works for Anya Gunderson. She runs Energy News, Energy News. She's part of that fraud club, and it all makes sense now. And oddly enough, we got the truth. Do you remember who? I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it all came out in 2012, 2013. We had the information was leaked by Radchick herself. She went and opened up her big mouth in a private email to another YouTuber how her and Miss Milky the Clown were meeting Arnie Gunderson, and I think it was somewhere in Oregon in some restaurant that afternoon. And Radchick was hoping to get a job with Arnie Gunderson. So it all made sense to us back then, because she'd mentioned how Miss Milky the Clown was working for Arnie Gunderson. This is what I said. We've been fooled here. Even about Arnie Gunderson, I keep forgetting to mention that he was not a nuclear expert or an engineer. He was a school teacher from what year? 1996 to the year 2006, 2008. I'll have to go double check. But yeah, he was a school teacher. Anyways, hopefully this has informed you. And please, if you're going to, if you don't believe me, go out there and read the emails for yourself. You need to get yourself informed on this stuff. Jeff Palco came out and spoke about the fairy tale, the Fukushima fairy tale, and this is exactly what Jeff was trying to warn people before he took his life. He says this fairy tale ring is much bigger than you guys can ever imagine. And he, oddly enough, he spoke about what? Thomas Ackerman and the Nuts for Arts. All these people, how they're all within the art sector, and have all infiltrated YouTube on the Fukushima channels, and it's all about disinformation. So this goes out to the late Jeff Palco. I'm not going to stop here. He has a son, Cody Palco, so I'm hoping someday there'll be enough YouTubers that'll stand behind the truth movement and will hit, not physically hit, but I mean, leave comments in Kevin Blanch's videos, leave comments in Nuts for Arts, leave comments in Strontium Milks. Again, another coward here who does not want to debate. I'm hoping people will come out and leave comments so these people can just be hit with the truth. You're absolutely scamming people looking the other way. Same with Annabeth. Don't expect, these people are out to lunch. I hate to say it, but they're just so lost. None of them want to talk about the truth. They just want to say it's the end of the world. Fukushima is infected everywhere. Our food is totally infected. And then you turn around and you ask them, well, do you have any results? What about the testing? No, we don't need testing. We just know from watching Kevin Blanch and Dana Durnford that it's broken down into Fukushima particles and it's everywhere, all around us. And I'm like, oh, well, do you not want to do any testing? No, we don't need any testing. Fukushima is killing everything. Anyways, hopefully you're not a nutcase like that. And I've brought some light here and connected some dots to these Fukushima frauds. Take care. Have a great weekend.